What if some of the greatest locomotives ever built, the fastest, the strongest, the most revolutionary, have completely vanished from the world? No museums, no preserved engines, nothing left but old footage and fading records. These were legends of the rails, and today they exist only in history. Let's find out. Number 10. The GWR Broad Gauge. Lord of the Isles. Before the world agreed on a standard rail gauge, the Great Western Railway ran on track 7 feet wide, and the machines built for it were extraordinary. The Lord of the Isles was the crown jewel of that era. Its single driving wheels stood 8 feet tall, taller than most front doors, spinning at speed on a locomotive that could hold around 80 miles per hour on a clear run. That is not a Victorian curiosity. That is a serious machine. It won prizes at the Great Exhibition of 1851. It set speed records. The GWR preserved it for 30 years after withdrawal and put it on public display. They were proud of it, and they had every reason to be. Then someone decided the floor space was more valuable. In 1906, they broke it up. The entire broad gauge area of British railways now exists only in photographs and technical drawings because of decisions exactly like this one. And if you think that is bad, wait until you see what comes next. Number 9. The PRRS-1. Big engine. The Pennsylvania Railroad only ever built one S1. Stretch it out with the tender, and you are looking at over 140 feet of locomotive, longer than 4 double-decker buses end to end. It weighed around 1 million pounds, and it was styled by Raymond Loewy, the same man who designed the Lucky Strike cigarette packet and the Studebaker Avanti. The S1 looked like nothing else on rails in 1939. In testing, it reached 140 miles per hour. Most American passenger locomotives that year were doing 85. This machine was doing 60% more. And the railroad built exactly one. Because only one was ever made, there was no fleet logic to support preservation when post-war economics turned against steam. 10 years old, irreplaceable, gone before anyone made a serious case for keeping it. One of a kind in every sense. Number 8. The LNER P2, Cock o' the North. Nigel Gresley built the P2 class for one of the most demanding assignments in British passenger rail. The Edinburgh to Aberdeen route climbs gradients and takes curves that push a locomotive hard. The Cock of the North was the first of 6, capable of producing over 43,000 pounds of tractive effort. The average car produces less than 1/5 of that in pulling force. This machine could move things that nothing else on the route could shift. Gresley died in 1941. His successor, Edward Thompson, had a complicated relationship with everything Gresley had created, and he acted on it. By 1944, all 6 P2 locomotives had been rebuilt into a less capable configuration. Their original character was gone. Historians have been calling it institutional vandalism for 80 years, and nobody has found a better description. A full working replica is currently being built in the UK, which tells you precisely how badly the originals were lost. Next up, a locomotive that changed how every machine after it looked. Number 7. The NYC Commodore Vanderbilt. In 1934, the New York Central encased a standard Hudson-class locomotive in a smooth steel shroud that covered the running gear entirely. The driving wheels hidden, the pipes invisible. What remained was a single long, rounded profile with a nose that tapered forward like the bow of a ship. It was the first fully streamlined steam locomotive in American history. Every streamlined passenger train that followed owes its visual language to what this machine established. The Hiawatha, the 20th Century Limited, the Broadway Limited, all of them looked the way they looked because of decisions made on this locomotive. The shroud was removed for maintenance. It was never refitted. The underlying Hudson was scrapped with the rest of the class. The machine that defined the aesthetics of an era left no physical record of its own appearance. What changed the industry has no grave. And what comes in at number 6 is, if anything, an even sharper loss. Number 6, the German DRB Class 05, number 05001. On the 11th of May 1936, locomotive 05001 reached 200 kilometers per hour between Hamburg and Berlin. That is 124.5 miles per hour. The national speed limit on a German motorway today is 130 kilometers per hour. This locomotive was traveling 50% faster than that in 1936 on steam. It was the fastest any steam locomotive had ever moved anywhere in the world. The record stood for 3 years. Its sister, 05002, survived and sits in a German museum today. The record breaker was scrapped in 1960, 2 years before anyone formalized a preservation program. The machine that held the absolute world speed record for steam was cut up while the record was still being counted. And the next entry involves something even harder to accept. We are halfway through and the losses only get heavier from here. If this list is doing what it should, subscribe now. We cover the machine's history came close to erasing every single week. Now, number 5. Number 5, the Milwaukee Road Class A Atlantics. The Milwaukee Road built 4 Class A locomotives for one purpose: to haul the Hiawatha at speeds that made the timetable look like an error. On the Chicago to Milwaukee run, the schedule required the Class A to hold 100 miles per hour as a daily working requirement. Not in testing, not for a special demonstration. Every run, both directions, as a matter of ordinary service. They were the only locomotives in American history designed from the outset to sustain genuine century speed in regular revenue operation. All 4 were scrapped in the 1950s. When diesel took the Hiawatha assignment, the Milwaukee Road was in financial difficulty and preservation was not a priority. The class that proved American steam could run as fast as anything in the world left no survivor. One of the most significant preservation failures in the history of North American railroading. And number 4 is the one that gets personal. Number 4, the LNWR Coronation. Number 2663. This entry is about something different. Not the fastest, not the most powerful, but a machine that carried a specific name through an unrepeatable span of history and whose loss is a different category of permanent. The London and Northwestern Railway named Locomotive 2663 Coronation to mark the crowning of King George V in June 1911. Built the same year the Titanic was under construction. It carried that name through 2 world wars, through the entire interwar period, through everything the British railway network absorbed in those 4 decades. Every mile it covered after 1914 was a mile traveled under a name given in peacetime, in a world that no longer existed. Scrapped in 1949. The link was cut permanently. You cannot build a replica and call it the same thing. The Coronation is gone, and what went with it was not engineering. It was continuity. And the next entry involves a locomotive that was lost for a reason that makes this one look almost reasonable. Number 3, Union Pacific Big Boy. Number 4005, 8 big boys survive today. By the standards of this list, that is close to a miracle for a class retired in the late 1950s. So why is one of the scrapped examples sitting at number 3? Because number 4005 logged more miles than any other in the class. It was the hardest worked example of the most powerful steam freight locomotives ever built in America. A big boy weighed around 1,200,000 pounds. Its tractive effort at the rail was around 135,000 pounds, roughly the weight of 60 family cars being pulled at once. There were 25 of these machines, and 4005 put in more service miles than any of them. The examples chosen for preservation were selected on condition, not history. The ones that worked least went to museums. The one that worked most was cut up. If you have ever stood next to a surviving big boy and felt the scale of it, know that the one that earned its reputation most completely is not among them. And that brings us to 2 losses of a completely different kind. Number 2, LNERA 4, number 4469, Sir Ralph Wedgwood. 6A4 Pacific survived today, including Mallard, the unbroken world speed record holder for steam at 126 miles per hour, set on the 3rd of July, 1938. That record has stood for nearly 90 years. The A4 class is arguably the best preserved express passenger type in locomotive history, which is exactly why the loss of Sir Ralph Wedgwood carries the weight it does. On the 29th of April 1942, the Luftwaffe bombed York. Sir Ralph Wedgwood was inside the depot. The damage was beyond repair. Parts were stripped for surviving members of the class, and the rest was scrapped while the war was still running. It is the only A4 destroyed by enemy action. 5 years old, not retired, not worn out, not a financial casualty. Killed in an air raid. That specific violence of circumstance is what separates this loss from everything else on this list, except for number 1. And the number 1 entry was not lost by accident. Number 1, LNWR, Greater Britain, number 601. The Greater Britain is number 1 not because of what it could do, but because of the reason it was destroyed. Built in 1891 as the flagship express locomotive of the London and Northwestern Railway. Its compound wheel arrangement, a 2-2-2-2 configuration, extracted power from steam across 2 stages of expansion. Technically ambitious for the era, it hauled the prestige expresses on one of Britain's most important main lines for over a decade. Scrapped in 1905, 14 years old. Not because it was beyond repair, not because economics demanded it, because Francis Webb, who designed it, had retired, and his successor wanted nothing associated with him. The scrapping was systematic, deliberate, and personal. Every Webb compound was eliminated. No appeal was made. No exception was granted. Not a single Webb compound locomotive survives today. Not one example from an entire era of LNWR engineering. The Greater Britain was destroyed by institutional ego, by one man's refusal to allow a predecessor's legacy to exist alongside his own. That is not bad luck. That is a choice. And it is the worst reason on this list to lose something that cannot be replaced. So these were the 10 locomotives. 10 losses. Some were bad timing, some were bad economics, and one was nothing more than one man's decision to erase what came before him. Which one hurts the most? The record breaker cut up 2 years too early? The one killed in an air raid at 5 years old? Or the one destroyed purely out of spite? Drop it in the comments. If you care about machines like these, subscribe, because the next story might be even worse.